Okay, hey everybody, this is Grace. And I thought I'd get out here. It's actually 12:40 p.m. on Memorial Day, 2026. And Adam went and bought, he's older than I, and he retired. It's almost 2 years, he said. It'll be 2 years in September, I think. I don't know. Anyway, he was saying it's almost September. It's not really almost, but anyway, when he retired, he was like got bored and everything, and so now he got to where he wants to go and buy all the groceries. More power to you. I was the one that did all that for all these years. I was a homemaker, employee. I went to, I had a job. I was a student and a homemaker. So it was a while he was a student. Yeah, and worked. I had the third shift. Well, every shift. But anyway, now he's doing things he says he likes to wash the dishes by hand. I use the dishwasher myself, but he likes to wash them by hand because he says that the warm water on his hands feels good. I think he's bored. No, he even says he's very bored because he's an electrical engineer, and he was used to always being busy and thinking, and his job was his hobby also. His job was his hobby also. And so he's bored. And I'm like, whatever, I've been really ill quite a bit. Like, I just got over pneumonia because the city did, the ER doctors put suspicion of pneumonia because I had told them about the city doing the sidewalks, and all breaking them up and replacing them and all that stuff was in the air, and it was pollen, and it was over a month ago, and all the dirt, they had a bunch of dirt, and Adam got a couple of the big old piles of dirt to put in our backyard, and then he had some guys out to do that, 2 days in a row, and then I got over all that. It was like 10 days, 12 days later, and then they came back out to do an alley on the other side. But they have been working in the whole neighborhood for months now. So I just got pneumonia, man. It knocked me on my butt. So for over a month, I'd say close to a month and a half. So he's going to do all that. Go for it. And also during the while, I had to get off of the medication from a rare health condition because it caused me to gain weight. It was water retention, a lot of it fast. And since I got off of it, me and the doctor talked about it and stuff like that. And I got off of it. It's losing about a pound a day, but that's because of the water retention. And I also had another one I was taking. One of them I tried, a different one that the other doctor wanted me to try. One day, one pill, and it was a no. Because later on that day, the world was not spinning around me. It was doing roller coaster rides all around. And I was laying on the bed. And so I never took that one again. And the other one I took for a few weeks, and it was a water pill. It made me dry up so bad. And now my legs, my feet, my ankles, and even a little bit on my legs feels like leather. I talked to my doctor. He got me off of that one too. I am not trying any more medicine. That's it. And the other doctor, he wants me to change all my medicine. No. I've told him, I explained that, he's a new, I only saw him once. No. I don't need to change all my medication. And the way they want to change it is the same medication, just a little tweak to it. That's my body you're playing with. And they were saying, oh, well, this is that cause. No, the cause was that medication that my body had to reverse a bad reaction to. That's all that it was. And like there was somebody in the ER one time that said that's not what it is. You know, she was a respiratory therapist. She says, I have a feeling this was all that it was, and then it was probably me having pneumonia. Okay. So yeah. Anyway. But so, you know, Adam wants to take over all this stuff in the meanwhile, that's fine. But it's been about 3 years of me being, what's this, 2023. So basically that would be 20. Yeah. You know, how sometimes you do the math and the math doesn't wind up being right. But yeah, 3 years of just, you know, it would be simple 20, yeah, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about. But it's not that. It was these 3 years, a lot of stuff. Well, actually, I can go back to 2022 because that's when it started, was right after 2022. So it's 2023, 24, 25, and 26. It's 4. It's in the 4th year. So, yeah, I knew I was doing it right. Anyway, so Adam should be home in a little while. When I called him, he was... he said he was at the checkout, and he just walking up to check out. He said they had everything on the list. He had me make a list for it, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm also going to be tweaking my diet, and you know, I have a rare health condition. I don't mention it because some people try to steal it. One man, one woman, at least, over the years, to use to get to grift online, to do sob story grifting and make money off of it, saying that they have that same rare health condition. So I don't mention it anymore. I don't mention the medications I'm on, the kind of doctors, none of that. And these are really legit doctors. You know, it's not something, but they're legit, and just don't always like all of them. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I didn't mean to talk about my health condition. I meant to talk about, you know, Adam, you know, stepping up to the plate. And he also has taken up cooking. I told him, you know, when I got real sick back, the first year, and you know, when they, actually it wasn't the first year. First year things were just weird. It was like all of a sudden I started gaining weight, and that's part of the rare health condition. But I've had it since I was a child, and that hasn't happened since I was a child. You know, suddenly gaining weight, except for one time, and that was when I was drinking like sodas and stuff that had sugar in them, you know, or fruit juice and stuff like that. And yeah, I got off of that and I lost all the weight that I had gained. So this time I'm thinking that it's also, I'm not a healthcare voice of authority. This is just for me with my rare health condition, and believe me, it's so rare that it's just doesn't. It's not like what happened to most people. Okay, I don't even know of any, because like it is that me on that medication for the health condition. You know, I was only on day 39, and well, actually it was day like 40 something, because he wanted me to, at the end of it, he wanted me to take it every third day, and I had only done that once. I said, no, I'm out off of this, because it was gaining 2 pounds a day of water retention, you know. And that doesn't happen. That is supposed to be the opposite. But I had Adam's cousin. He used to do, well, he still does, from what I understand, research on medications and such, big time. And he was back then too. And he told me how some of the medications can reverse on some people. And one of them had on me. It did the opposite of what it was supposed to do. So, and that particular medication he knew about. So, anyway, I'm just, you know, I get on this topic, and I was talking about groceries, but I want to start being able to go, I want to start going out and doing groceries. I was doing, right before all this happened, I had been working, building my stamina, because in September, in the beginning of October, I had been real ill too, but it wasn't like pneumonia. I couldn't figure out what it was. I'd never had it before, but it was something going wrong with my stomach, and I was too ill to go to the doctor. Seriously, okay. And I had a telemed with the doctor's nurse, my doctor's nurse. And anyway, I just had to get over it, and it took a long while. It was at the end of August, through the beginning, all the way through September, through the beginning of October, and then I had to rebuild my stamina after that. And something else must have happened, because I was just then very confident right whenever I got this pneumonia. Go figure. But I'm talking, the pneumonia was so weird, man. I'm talking like I couldn't stand up in the shower. I've had it when I was younger. I've had it before, and never something like that. It felt like it wasn't as bad as when I was younger. The pneumonia, the way I have it, it would be more like a cold and flu and all that. So this was a different kind of pneumonia, I guess. But I couldn't stand up in the shower. I was just bragging to Adam today. He was saying he was going to the grocery store and I needed to take a shower. I said, no, before you go, because I don't want to be at home taking a shower, when he's not here, in case something happened, with what had happened to me. So I couldn't stand up in the shower. And when our bathtub needs a pipe, the other ones are upstairs, and I couldn't walk upstairs because of the pneumonia. So, and I was bragging to him today that when I said, and he was about to leave, and I said, no, wait a minute, he said 10 minutes. I said, let me take a shower before you go. He said, okay. So I got in that shower. I had to do things like psych myself up to get in the shower, because it would be so bad, the whole experience, and I couldn't stay in there long. I could just get in there, wash real fast, and get out. Sometimes not even wash my hair. Seriously, every other day I used to. But I did read that women my age shouldn't wash their hair every other day. It should be more like once or twice a week. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a voice of authority on that one either. I don't know whether to trust it or not. But anyway, I was bragging to him today that because he was he was going to go to the grocery store, I got myself in that shower, took a shower, and I did not rush it. I washed my hair, I felt like this is the cleanest I've gotten since I had pneumonia. And because I couldn't stand in the shower. And I did. I stood in the shower, did it. So I'm at that point. You see, it's not a quick thing of getting over. It's little bit by little bit. And that was a great achievement for me. Seriously. I felt, wow, I actually got in the shower. When I got out of the shower, there was no shortness of breath. There was just, I sat down, because usually when I get out of the shower, and I'm talking like a minute, as little as a minute. And, well, maybe not a minute. Maybe that's exaggerating a little bit. But really, it wasn't very long. Sometimes I'd get in the shower and get dizzy. And so it was like, this was a good shower. And I didn't get dizzy. I didn't get out. Because before, when I'd get out, man, I'd be, like that. Couldn't get my breath. I'd have to sit down. And I had to put a little chair in the bathroom, which I didn't like the chair. I was afraid I was going to fall off. And so there's this chest thing in there. I don't even know what you call it. It's kind of different. But I put a towel on it and use that as a chair. And I'd have to get out of the shower and immediately sit down. Jump out of the shower, really. Immediately sit down and just sit there, trying to catch my breath. And it was kind of like having a panic attack, but it wasn't one. And they explained it to me what was going on, you know, the second doctor. And I only saw once, and nope, it was pneumonia. You know, the ER, it was pneumonia. And so, yeah, today was a brag day. I was able to take a shower, get thoroughly clean. I feel so clean. And yeah, wash my hair, everything. And plus, like I said, the dry skin. Oh, it's, you know, I was thinking it's funny that white people call it scale, you know, that I know, call it scaly. Or what's the other word they use? I'm white. Scaly, flaky, I think is one. Just dry skin. And African Americans that I know or have known, they call it ashy. I think ashy looks more like it. You know what I'm saying? I think it does. It looks ashy. So I think they have the right word and we have it wrong. Anyway, there's Adam. I'm going to wrap this up. Talk to you on another video. Bye.